Woo, welcome back. Welcome back. Good morning. I'm Lovebabz, Lovetalk. And I'm talking again at the 10 o'clock hour. I've got Billy and Janine Johnson from Take Action Running in studio with me this morning. And we are talking about races. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And see you. The last time I saw you, I was at the race that y'all had in
Hubbard Park in Meriden.
which I've never been, which is a very beautiful park.
It is. It is.
It was a very beautiful park, and I was so pleased with the turnout. It was so many people. It was good, and it was for a particular. It was a fundraiser.
Yes, it was a charity fundraiser for two organizations that we had decided to work with because they were close to our hearts in regards to supporting. They were Sisters Journey and the Kidney Foundation.
Yes. That's how because I had Billy on for that,
Mm-hmm.
and so he told me you're the race course designer.
Yes. So I am a certified race director through RRCA, which is Roadrunners Club of America. And what my purpose is to help organizations manage, organize, and design a racing event and ensure that it's safe, logistically set up, and also fun for runners to enjoy. So
I had no idea that was a thing. And I'm impressed that a sister is doing it. Like this is so when did y'all get into creating a Take Action Running company business?
So prior to starting the business about 3 years ago, I became a runner later on in life, and I participated in a number of 5Ks, 10Ks, and half marathons, and I thought it was so much fun. And I posted my enjoyment of this on social media. And a lot of my family members and friends were encouraged and excited about it. And I thought, well, why can't I do that myself? So I looked into...
Who does that? No, that's good. I love it.
Not me.
And what I wanted to focus on was trying to encourage people within our community to participate in something that's active, and getting into a healthy lifestyle, but also supporting causes that are dear to their hearts, but also causes that are within our community. So we started 3 years ago with Take Action Running, and we worked with the Kidney Foundation and Sisters Journey then, and the funds that we raised supported those two causes.
Okay. So how's it been so far? It's 3 years later.
3 years later.
Still loving it?
Yeah. This year we've decided to work with an additional organization, Citywide Youth Coalition.
I know Citywide Youth Coalition.
Yes, and we're still working with Sisters Journey, and we're just trying to support those foundations. And we relocated to Hamden, which is closer to New Haven and
Our family.
My
family.
Where were y'all before?
We're in Meriden, but
okay.
Janine's from Hartford.
Okay.
So we chose Meriden to be between our families and friends, but decided we were going to choose a course that was closer to New Haven, but also flat.
Okay. And this is for the upcoming race?
For the upcoming race.
And what's the upcoming race about?
So this upcoming race is the third annual Summer Blaze 5K. And it's going to be located at the Farmington Canal Trail in Hamden, Connecticut. And the two organizations, like I mentioned before, that we're going to be supporting are Sisters Journey and Citywide Youth Coalition.
Yay!
One thing, Babz, someone asked me before was kind of, well, how does the business make money? And I'm on that end of the business part. We don't make money, and that's actually not the intention.
No?
We front the money because we believe in giving back, and we provide access to organizations to have races.
Okay.
I think I said it last time.
Yes.
Basically, it can cost you upwards to $10,000 to put a race together. My wife just teamed up back in Hartford with an organization from her community, and we make it accessible for them to put the race on. The only time we would make money is so X organization wants us to put on a race for them. But I promise you, it's at a fee that anyone can afford. And we do that intentionally so people have access. I think you led with, you don't know a lot of sisters doing this. Well, it is a very, it's a very expensive thing to do, but we've made it available because we're able to make it available to people who can't do it. Right. So I put that out there. We don't make money, right? Anything we get, we give away. And you can talk to the organizations we've worked with in the past, like literally whatever comes in goes to the organizations. We do the upfront costs. That's our way of giving back. And then whatever a ticket is purchased, anything is purchased, it goes right back out.
Wow. That's a level of generosity. What is that? Like some Oprah generosity? What is that?
But look, that old saying has been very true in our
you're
lives
right.
around.
Yes.
I tell people always say, you always seem to just land on your feet. There's a reason why. I firmly believe it's because I do things with the intentions of helping others. Like, it's not about me. I belong to a larger community. My wife, she belongs to a huge community. She has a very huge family, right? But there's that notion that if you put out and give out, right, it comes back to you whether you believe it or know it or not. It'll come back to you.
Yeah, I believe
you don't
it.
worry about it. So that's the reason why we do it. This is not kind of this like, how do we make money off folks? That's not what we're running here.
And I think you make a good point, because I don't see too many races I don't see us doing these walkathons and these 5Ks like I see breast cancer awareness and the Komen and the this and the that and the Faxon Stratton. Well, it's not even the Stratton anymore. It's just Faxon, or it's just Stratton. I don't know.
Right.
The New Haven Road
Race.
New Haven Road Race. And I mean, that's what I know. I don't know of any other sort of, and I know they exist, but not in this particular area. I've not seen that. And so when you all came along to do this, I was quite intrigued by it. I was like, how does this work? So you go and you scout out a location.
Yes. So how it works is I survey a course. I also talk to the local city to see if there are certain requirements as far as obtaining permits and to actually have an event at a certain location. And then once that's done, I calculate how many miles I plan on doing for that particular event. In this case, it was a 5K, which is 3.1 miles. Measure that course out, and then strategically place water stations and personnel like staff, volunteers that are going to be assisting me along that course to ensure that it's safe for runners. Other aspects that we work on as a event management company for road races is setting up registration sites, also giving the organizations access to sponsorship request forms so that they're able to reach out to different businesses, local businesses, to get support, to also give them money to support their cause. And then there are other logistics that we ensure that are set prior to the event starting.
And you all, like when I was at the last one, you had a DJ.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, this is like a party.
Yes, we have friends that help and support us along the way. So we have a friend of ours, DJ Wayne, that helps us each year. We also had a massage therapist come out and warm up the runners or after the race.
Can I give them a shout out? Because these are businesses that are owned by people of color. So Wayne Brown, which a lot of people know, he's local. He plays live everywhere. Mr. Piano Man. Also Carla May, who owns Balance Therapy. Just want to shout out those businesses. They show up for us. They support us.
Do they get more business because of it?
So what we do is also we understand that bring your talent here as a showcase, right, to get more business for your business. Kind of like supporting business. We do not have them pay us, right? That's not what we do. And anyone who has a cause or business or something, you would like to set up a booth, contact us. We would have you make a donation to the charities, not to us. We're at takeactionrunning@gmail.com. But I really want to shout out, we want to promote small businesses, mom and pop shops, who've been doing business for a long time, who don't have the platform or the resources, to have these large media campaigns. So sorry, honey, I just wanted to make sure we got it.
No, that's good. No,
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
good. That's good. That's good. That's helpful. All right, so you do all the sort of background stuff, set up, get the course right, make sure it's safe, and then you had like swag stuff too.
Yes. So some of the local businesses, they would do in-kind donations. So they would either provide us with snacks, beverages. This year, we actually have a great sponsorship raffle gift from Foxwoods Casino.
Oh, yeah.
They're providing us with a one-night deluxe accommodation that we're going to be raffling off to anyone who registers.
I may just have to come just
So,
for that.
so I'm just gonna say,
I don't need to run.
Our sponsors don't give us cash
all the
gifts,
time, yeah.
right? But they do give us gifts like this Foxwoods
I mean,
Casino
that's
gift.
priceless.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna tell folks, I encourage you, the way to get into the raffle is signing up, showing up to the race. You can walk, you can jog, you can run. We have mothers who have kids in their carriages running with them. But there are a lot of prizes that are raffled off, and they're made available by these sponsors to us, and we give them all away.
Okay, so when is the race? I want to periodically just remind people in case they tune in late or in the
Definitely.
middle.
It's Saturday, June 15th.
From what time?
From registration starts at 7:30
In the morning?
Yes.
Okay.
But if you register ahead of time online
You're fine.
at
Okay.
takeactionrunning.com, then the race starts at 8:30, and again, it's at Farmington Canal Trails in Hamden, Connecticut.
Okay. And where on the trail can people get there?
So it's actually I always forget it. Not Shepherd. If it is Shepherd.
Sherman Avenue.
Sherman and Shepherd. I always
245
confuse them.
Sherman Avenue.
There you go.
Okay.
As soon as you come up Sherman Avenue on the left-hand side, there's the Canal Rail Trail lot. That's where there's going to be parking provided, and that is the location of the registration table as well as the start of the race.
So to be eligible though for the raffle, you have to register prior to June 14th.
Okay.
Right. So I want to encourage.
Oh,
folks,
I heard it.
Yeah. So if you want to be eligible for the raffle, you have to register prior to June 14th because day of you can register the day of the race, but you won't be eligible for the raffle.
For the raffle. Okay. All right. That's good. So how many people do you anticipate? How many people were at the last race?
It was roughly 125.
That's a good amount of people. I forgot. How much did it cost to register?
It was last year or this year?
Last year, and then tell me this year.
Okay, last year was $25. This year we had an early bird special, which ended March 31st.
That?
Yes, it was $20. Currently it is $25, and the day of the race it actually goes up to $30.
Okay.
So
people could walk up with their $30 and register for the race.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Okay. And you have some diehard runners, like people who are actually not like me, who are stroll, but people who actually run.
Yes. Another aspect that I wish I mentioned earlier, but one of the other sponsors that we have are is the Roadrunners Club of America, RRCA organization. What they did was they sponsored our event, and we were nominated to be called the RRCA State Championship event.
Whoa.
And so they provided us with bibs as well as medals, race medals.
I got a medal last year.
Well, that's a medal for our participation from the organization.
All right.
But for competitive runners.
Who you saw.
You saw.
I did.
So a couple of
I saw them.
There are going to be medals provided from that sponsorship. And there are 4 categories.
Because they are serious about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there are 4 categories, and each category has a male, female winner, and the categories are open, which is all ages, and the top runners that win overall for the race as far as the fastest to the finish line, and then we have our 40 plus age group, The next category is our 50 plus age group, and then the last category is our 60 plus age group. So there is a little incentive, additional incentive, as well as supporting great causes, but we also have additional medals.
Okay.
See, this is why my wife needs to be here, Babz, because that part I don't know.
I know. That's good to know, because when I was at last year's race, they were diehard runners, and I was like, I know these are just not regular folks running. Like, they were serious about it, and I was like,
yeah, we were lucky enough to have the RRCA organization sponsor us last year as well, and so this year, because they support community-based events, and so they heard that our event went well last year. And so they decided to award us with this sponsorship this year.
Now, do you look at taking on more, I guess, clients?
So
customers? I mean, how do you
I'll
say
answer
it?
that question, right?
It's
So
like-
I'm very, because I do kind of the back end stuff. I tell my wife when we talk about it, we should be very intentional, right? So the event, what's the name of the group in Hartford that we're working with?
The Keeney Park Sustainability.
Right, in the north end of Hartford.
Yes.
Very clearly, if you know Hartford, there's an event there, and they're having this huge event, and they want to have a race. Now, for me, that makes sense, right? You have a community north end of Hartford who wants to have an event, and honestly, like they probably don't have this endless budget, right? They do have a budget, but not this endless budget. It makes sense because it's also the community in which my wife was born and raised, right? That we commit our time to that event. So when we contract with groups like that for a very minimal fee, that literally goes into the business account, and guess what we do with it? We throw it back into our race, which you're gonna see every year, right? It's not. That's why I tell people, we don't make money off of it,
okay,
right? And even that fee doesn't cover our race. Everything else comes out of our pocket. So yes, we do. We want to work with organizations who actually want to engage, right, in creating a race for a purpose.
Okay.
Right. I know there's fun runs, right? We may do a fun run.
What does that mean, a fun run?
What's the name of you? Go ahead, babe. You can give better examples than I can.
It's usually if you're just going to the park, a meetup group, and just running for lifestyle exercise.
Oh, I see.
Not really towards a charity.
Okay.
Per se.
Okay. People do that? Okay.
Yeah.
No. I belong to Black Girls Run,
Yes.
so I don't really, but I'm a member in name only.
I mean, and that for when I think about what my wife is doing, I think that's why we have that full circle effect in our lives, right? Because we could just sign on with a huge business, and not that we wouldn't, but is that really what we want to do? Or if that huge business wants to have a race and then they're giving the proceeds to the community, of course we'll sign on. Right?
Okay. I see where you're going. Yes.
They're really, for us, we need to create space so some of these resources actually hit back the community. And I'm not using community in code. I'm using community what it means for me, which is folks who live in parts of New Haven, right, who actually could benefit from extra resources.
It'd be nice to have like a Freddie Fixer road race.
You brought that up last year.
I know.
I did.
I'm telling you.
I did. I brought that up last year. I did. I forgot about that. I don't want to coordinate it, but I would. I wouldn't mind. Or you know what else would be cool? And I said this too, Billy. You might remember this. Some kind of Pan-Hellenic, because I'm Greek. Are you Greek? You're Greek, aren't you? No. You Greek? Are you Greek?
No.
So like some kind of Delta Q, aka Sigma.
We have
Zeta,
enough relatives that are that they just need to let us know.
Some kind of Pan-Hellenic Black Greek HBCU New Haven run.
I'm about that life.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Put some beer on the other end of it.
Not a medal, but some beer.
Some beer. Seriously, like have a little beer garden somewhere. This would be the blackest thing ever. I think that would be fun. I'm gonna put my brain on that. I'm like, let's talk about that. That'd be fun. That'd be the kind of fun I'd want. I'm just saying. So, all right. So how much time goes into planning this?
Usually it's a a, a good a number of months, I would say, only because we've done this so many years that it's like we just pull out our binder that has like the blueprint.
Oh, now you got to buy. All right.
So then we just redo it over again. And the only logistical thing that I had to do this year was, because it's a new location, we had to do the course map over again.
Okay.
As well as
you're dealing with a new town,
and permits.
Are they happy to have you do this, Hampden?
Well, we're residents. I've been paying taxes there for 19 years. Since longer than that. When I came home from college, pretty much. They were great. Hampden was great. They were easy to work with. Meriden was also great, although we weren't residents. But I think what made the transition a little easier with Hampden is, when you look at we pay taxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
tell me about the canal. Do you like it? Because the canal is new. Like, I mean, it's they put some work into it, some effort, and now we have this wonderful canal that runs from New Haven all the way to Cheshire, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful course. Very scenic. Compared to, I did a survey after my previous race, and I just asked runners and participants what their interests were as far as course design. And because the Hubbard Park is beautiful as well, there were areas that were very challenging, a lot of hills. And so this year I decided to change it and see if there was a place that was a little bit more flatter, but also scenic. So that's one of the reasons why we chose that location.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And you're early in the morning, so you get the cool breeze. People get their run in, and then they're so what is the is it just a 5K, or is there a 1 mile? Like, because last year I did the 1 mile walk.
Yes.
Well, that's because
of the course.
The course.
Yes. To agree with Billy, the course was a lot more challenging at Hubbard Park, so we gave the option of either doing the 5K or the 1 mile. But because this course is different, we decided to just go with the 5K.
So people can walk it.
Walk it.
Okay.
Time.
All right.
Time.
Okay, because that's 3.1 miles.
Yes.
You didn't have to say that, Babz.
Billy, are you running? Because the last time I asked you.
Listen, so
he was out on the course.
Listen, so this is, and I told Babz, I said, so when everybody shows up, everything is set up, tents, tables.
Yes.
They don't know that I'm up at 3 a.m. loading the truck, getting all that stuff there.
All right.
So because it's closer now, I don't have to get up at 3 a.m. I may have to get up at like 5 a.m. I may actually have the energy level to participate. But
you took the walk though. I mean, you did do it.
I did, but I think because I'm closer to home, I don't have to get up at 2:30 in the morning. I'm gonna make the valiant effort of actually really participaking in the race. Okay.
Because you're a runner. Your wife is a runner.
Oh, hold on.
I'm sorry. Is she not a runner?
I went to college on a track scholarship.
I'm sorry,
so
but
we'll be clear.
Okay.
You call my wife a runner like I can't run. Actually, physically, I can. I just choose not to.
That's a difference.
I'm insulted.
Is this a challenge? Wait, what?
I know. I'm just saying. Is it?
Janine can't beat me in no race. I already told her that.
She might be able to beat you pregnant. I'm just saying. She's very pregnant.
True.
And we just saw a woman. A couple of women break records pregnant running.
True.
That's
some next level. That's some next level stuff.
I've not seen any bros do that.
True.
I'm just saying, and get up early in the morning, and So tell me a little bit about. I know you talked about how this is important, but when did you make the decision to say, you know what, this is what we're going to do as a family? Like, this is our family commitment to service, because that's what it sounds like to me. A family commitment to service, community, and the greater good.
Do you remember that conversation in Bloomfield?
No, I don't.
I just remember it because I was home with our daughter. I actually took a year off from working to be home with our daughter.
Wow.
My wife wanted to go back to work, and I was not comfortable with
daycare.
Pretty much at an early age. We didn't find, But I've always owned multiple businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And Janine one day, because I was home, but I was still doing consulting work right from the laptop, and she was like, I want a business. I want to do. I remember this conversation. And I said, well, and of course I'm like, well, what do you want to do? And my wife's classic answer, I don't know, right? And I remember, I don't know when it clicked, but she was with a running group in West Hartford.
Fleet Feet.
Basically,
they're another sponsor of ours.
Another sponsor.
What's their name?
Fleet Feet.
Okay.
In West Hartford. And I remember her saying, well, I want to do she would go to 5Ks like every other weekend. She was on that stuff, which I thought was crazy. But
I'm sorry, Mr. Track Star.
Listen,
Yes.
I'm beyond that now. But I remember her saying it, and she finally was like, well, I want to do like a race company. So soon as I said, first you got to get a name. She figured out a name, and literally I did all the business stuff. That's the stuff I do in the background. But here's all your business LLC came in the mail. She had it. She did all the coursework to become a certified race director.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
But I don't think in the beginning we knew how we wanted to target or things like that. We just said, well, we always support your mom's kidney because her mom is a kidney recipient.
Mm-hmm.
We always support that race. How about we start with having our own, supporting the kidney organization and also Sister's Journey, who had supported my sister through her cancer.
Okay.
And it was just kind of like, these are two things that are important to us. And then what we realized was, well, there's probably other spaces where people need to be able to have access to raising money. And we know they just don't.
I love this idea.
Right. But it was first birthed from, I want my own business. You have your business. I remember this conversation.
Of course he would.
I know. Throw it back in my face.
No. It was your idea. I don't claim the idea. That was all you.
So is it fun?
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it's fun. So Janine, tell me a little bit, what is the certification looks like? Like, what is the training? How do you become this?
So I, in doing research, Google, I found an organization, the Roadrunners Club of America, and they have a race director certification program. And it's an online program that goes through a series of modules that you have to pretty much pass a test. And once that's done, then you're certified to be a director. And then you also get access to different sponsorship opportunities, but also discounts to insurance policies. Because one thing that I had mentioned before was the importance of safety on the course. And we do get our racing events insured.
Okay.
And through this program, we're able to get it at a discount.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That is good. Mm-hmm. So is the goal to grow Take Action Running? And what does that look like?
I believe so. I'm taking baby steps because it's only the third year. But I hope to work with more organizations just to assist them in raising funds and awareness of their foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So last year we had 2 events. We worked with an organization called Dominate the Day, and then our Take.
Why do I know that Dominate the Day? Why do I know that?
Well, they just had another race. Basically, the organization, the parents of they lost a child to cancer.
Okay.
And they created the foundation in honor of their son in recognition, memory of their son, which is a great foundation. Please donate to Dominate Today. They actually put on camps and things for kids during the summer from the money that they raise. And organizations like Dominate Today, like the Keeney Park
Sustainability. They contacted us this year, and they were looking for assistance to organize a 5K event to go along with their Family Day event that they're holding in Hartford, Connecticut, August 17th. So we're in the works of setting up an event for them.
So how much money can people raise doing these races for themselves?
Listen,
Because this is not anything I see in our community. Honestly,
you told me about a race you did.
I did the Frosty 5K.
And you said how many people were there?
It was 1,000.
So 1,000 times 30.
Oh, okay.
Right. And
I
don't
was
get me
dead
wrong.
last.
Don't get me wrong. So,
Swear to God.
And maybe
you
at that
finished.
event, at that size event, the cost probably was around 10,000 or 11,000. So let's just say they brought home 16. There's cost there, but you can raise a substantial amount of money. For me, though, when I think about the amount of money you can raise, it's not actually the amount of money; it's what you do with it, right? And that's why I said. So when we do this project in Hartford, we charge this very small fee, but for us, it's going to be pushed back into our annual race to raise money for the organization that we want to raise money for. But some places they raise a ton of money and who knows what they do, right? And I'm not knocking it, but I'm saying if you can raise that amount of money, the real question that I want to answer is kind of what are you doing with it to have impact on someone who doesn't have or who needs, right? Versus if I'm already a giant organization and I went and I raised $15,000 and I don't really need the $15,000. What am I doing to give back? So I think the organizations we just named, they're very specifically giving back in a way that they know how. Dominate the Day through athletics. The Sustainability Project in Guinea Park is really doing work there.
We need to have a talk because we need a race we need a very black race in New Haven. I'm all about it. I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing. I was like, I just need a black race. So I don't know how to figure that out, but I'm gonna. I know enough black people in this town. I was like, we should have a race, and then everybody could come. Not just I'm not suggesting that only black people run this race. I'm suggesting that black people put on the race. We host it with y'all, and then raise money for. I mean, there's a myriad of things that we can raise money for.
So I'll say this, Babz. There's many ethnic 5Ks, right? You have the St. Patrick's Day 5K,
the
right?
immigrants and everybody.
So it's not, and it's not. So there's nothing wrong with saying we're going to have a Hispanic 5K, or we're going to have an African 5K, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's.
If we have an African 5K. We got to have the drums out there.
Oh.
Well, I mean, and that's the whole thing. There's nothing wrong with committing funds to whatever cause that you believe in.
Exactly.
And I don't think, and I always tell people this because people ask me this. I go, just because someone, I'll say me. Just because I'm pro-black does not mean I'm anti anything.
That's right.
Right. So I think that needs to be said because whenever the belief tends to be, right, when we are pro anything about our culture, our race and everything, it automatically gets flipped that we're anti something else. And that's simply not true.
And nobody else has that perspective.
Exactly.
No one.
We have
white folks will say, we're going to have a 5K for pancakes. And no one says, oh, it's white pancakes or white people having pancakes.
Exactly.
No one says that. They're just like, oh, pancakes. Well, let's all go. We say, we put little something on it and it becomes anti. No.
Exactly. So I wanted to say that because that's exactly how it plays out all the time.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that greatly because I just love this concept. And, fitness is a big deal in our community, right? Yeah. Access to fitness, access to, I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to do the walks. Like she'd do like March of Dimes and leukemia walks and all that kind of stuff. And so this just makes me think of her, these kinds of, thinking and racing and, raising money for causes that make sense. And people tend to, and it's a great way, I think, to bring community together.
Definitely.
Because we all can get together and walk somewhere.
Absolutely.
And run. And there's a lot of runners, so I think this is a good idea. So in planning this, so you're planning now for this race. Are you thinking about the next race?
She's thinking about
for
birth.
Summer Place 5K.
I know. Wait, she's like, I have to have this baby first, Babz, and then.
Well, our next race is actually in August. So
are you gonna make that?
Yes. Okay. Of course.
I'm just like you have a new baby. I don't know. I mean,
No, I have a great support system, a great team. Actually, Billy, as well as my family members
Okay.
are part of my volunteer group.
Okay.
So
that's good.
They are always there.
That's
so
good. So the
I have
next
no
race
worries.
is in August?
So
That's the
the Keeney Park.
The Keeney Park one?
Sustainability.
That's hot though. It's hot in
Mhm.
August.
But it's going to be early in the
Early in the day.
early in the morning. It's within the park, which is shaded, a lot of trees.
I don't know Keeney
scenic.
Park.
It's in the north end of Hartford.
Okay. Okay.
So another good location, and I think it'll be a good turnout.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so now, do the organization, are they responsible for doing their own marketing? Like, how do they get the word out about this? I don't even know how I heard about y'all.
It all depends on, since Keeney Park is coming up and that's who we're working with, they do their own marketing, all that piece. We organize the race, which is really making sure Janine went up. She walked did you walk the course? She drove it. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's her superpower.
Listen, I don't know.
Mr. I went on a track scholarship.
Listen. I'm like, did you walk that course? You 8 months pregnant.
Because what he's saying is, I would have driven it.
Babz got that right. I would have brought my bike. But anyway, but I mean, so we're in charge of, she really is in charge of making sure the course is safe, right? What are hazards that could be possible? Then she has to present the course to the town of Hartford, city of Hartford.
Oh, okay.
Right? Get it approved, all that. So they have they're going to have a huge festivities of stuff going on in the park also, but we have to make sure that specific piece is up to par.
Okay.
We ensure.
Because they trust that you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Okay.
So people are safe.
Okay.
Right? So no, it is, Janine is definitely downplaying it because I see how much she really does. I may look at the numbers and making sure stuff is signed off on, but my wife does, when she preps, and usually her squad comes, which is her 2 sisters and her cousins, and they come in. I mean, it does take a lot of preparation. I think people just you don't see it. What you see is the end product.
Yes.
Right. If you come to one of our races, right, if you come to our summer blaze, it's like clockwork. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
boom,
listen, I was impressed. And I got a medal too, which I still have.
Yeah.
I got 2 now, right?
So yeah, there's a lot of preparation to that. It's not easy. And she took this race on in her community on 2 months notice? Yeah. 2 months notice, which is not something we would do, but when an organization in your community and with your race, and they need it, like, you just make it happen. Because I looked at her like, so our race is in June, you're having a baby sometime in June, and then in August we have another race. But I just stepped back, right, and I said,
how can I help?
Do? Exactly, that's what you want to do. How are we gonna get it done? How are we gonna get it done?
That's the good husband playbook right there. How can I help? So is there a cutoff number for the amount of people that could run? Do you because that part of the safety issue?
Yes. Depending on the course and the width of the actual course area, we would limit the number of participants. But with our current race and the numbers that we've had, we haven't had to put a cap on it.
Okay.
But I know with previous races, there was, according to the permit, like the town, and their review of the number of possible participants in the area. So we've had a cutoff at one point, but with our races, no.
So do you go to other races and like look and see what they do?
Of course.
Okay. And say,
but I mean, I also participated in a number of races.
That's
too.
but participating is one thing before you knew the back end story. Yes. Now you know the back end story and you go with a different set of eyes. I think.
Oh, definitely. And I've also volunteered with at larger race organizations and volunteered on their committees just to see how they operate as well. So
now, is the Boston Marathon a fundraiser? Do they raise money for something?
I believe so. But
what do
I've
they
never
raise
been
money
there.
for?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I believe it is a fundraiser.
Okay. Now, do you like that scale? Because in the New York Marathon,
that's a whole nother level.
That's a whole
nother level.
No, I'm gonna
the next level would be a 10K though.
Yeah, I think the next thing would be also challenging myself and creating a larger event, but probably just changing the distance. to
Ooh.
either most likely a 10K.
I don't see that in my.
You can ride the bike with me, Babz.
Oh, all right.
I'm
We can ride. Oh.
Well, no, you cannot
No.
bring a bike as against the rule. My wife, you didn't see her hand, but she was like,
I
no.
saw her face. I saw her eyes like, listen, y'all.
Listen.
You better not bring a bike to my race. Like, okay.
You can
all
ride
right.
it to the race.
I can ride it to the race. Okay, so we're not going Boston Marathon or New York City Marathon because that's huge.
Well, that's a full, literally, those organizations, they're like full-time gigs.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the person
But they
does.
didn't start that way.
I'm pretty
they
sure
started,
they did.
they started small too, right?
Yeah, you're
like,
right. I'm pretty sure they did. But those folks, they probably have a foundation with a staff, right? We have a staff, but we got real jobs.
So what do you think about in another place, in another country, in another, does that appeal? Because I know, when you get into 5K circuit, right?
Right.
You see 5Ks all over the. I did one 5K and I got looped into the circuit, and I remember I saw a 5K in Puerto Rico, and I was like, that might be the move.
Well, Janine, Janine has a couple of running friends that run all over the world.
I have some friends, like, do you know Ja? You know Ja?
Yes.
Yeah, she's my good friend, right?
Yes.
And,
yeah, she travels the world.
Oh, she's going to Africa and whatever, and did the whole thing, and she's in Russia, and she's always running, and she's my spirit goddess because I'm never running like that. But I am in awe of that, and so do you all think that you would consider hosting a race outside the country or somewhere? Or
Janine and her sisters will go. I'm staying with the kids.
But hosting, I'm not too sure about that. I never thought about that.
I mean, something to think about. Like if somebody wanted, I know it would be a good idea. Somebody wanted to have a family reunion and they have a little 5K, right, in the family reunion, or in Jamaica or Puerto Rico or, someplace. I'm just looking at ways that I find this fascinating to sort of build into community, right? Because this doesn't require people to do much except show up and pay some money and then run.
True.
No, for you, it's a whole other story.
It would be like going through the particular town or country to get permits.
But there's a good chance that you could grow and consider that. I mean, it's 3 years now, but when you come back, we're all like whatever in 2 years or three more years from now, it could be a different story.
Something to think about.
Or on the beach. I like the beach. See, now I'm making this about me. I was like, I like a race on the beach, please.
Think about that.
So, well, I'm looking forward to the race. Tell people how to get in touch with y'all.
You can go to takeactionrunning.com. That's our main website, and our registration link is there. If you're interested in setting up a booth, either a sponsor or a local business who wants to advertise their business, you can go to our email address, takeactionrunning@gmail.com.
That's good.
And once again, June 15th at the Farmington Canal on, 245 Sherman, you said, man?
245 Sherman Avenue.
In Hamden.
This is a great opportunity to give back to community. This is a wonderful opportunity. So hopefully I'll see people out there. I know I will. So I don't know if I'll be running, but I'll come in. And I want to win the thing, so I gotta go register. You said I have to run. You said I have to.
Yep, you just have to register.
Just gotta register and just go. Put on a cute outfit and just stroll my little 3 miles, and it'll be nice early in the morning. So thank y'all so much. I hope y'all come back next year, or for whenever race you want to come back to talk about. Come back.
Thank you for having us.
Seriously, this is fun. I enjoy. Thank you for coming, Janine, because you're very, very pregnant. So I appreciate you just making the trip here because you're very close. And Billy, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Absolutely. I know I'll see you soon.
I know. And we have to talk about other things. You have to come on and talk about other things.
Here you go. We're not.
You come on and talk about other things. Education things.
But I have to give one shout out.
Okay.
Right? So,
because I met you at an education thing.
Yes, you did. You were hosting, and it was myself, Karen, and Gigi. I want to shout out my very best friend. I am something that he's been talking about for a very long time, and I'm proud to see a community member actually step up and actually put their money in there where their mouth kind of that thing is. So Lim Wu, Seth Poole,
Oh yeah.
running for mayor.
Yeah.
You know, what I will say is, when I didn't have anything, his family and himself, they've given me much love and much more. And I'm going to do the same for him. I'm in full support of his dream, which is really bringing youth voice to the table and decisions about youth.
I agree. He works at Planned Parenthood.
He works at Planned Parenthood.
And I'm on the Planned Parenthood board. And it's nice to see a black man in that space.
Listen, but
seriously.
you know, I'm just happy to see a community member in that space, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's something about in my lifetime, many people have made decisions for communities but never had to experience them. And that's a tricky situation. And that's not any slight of anyone, because I believe best intentions from any human being that I meet until they prove me wrong. But shout out to Seth Poole for mayor. I'm with you, brother. I pray for you. You know, we got your back.
Is he gonna be at the race? Does he run?
Yes.
He comes every year.
I put him on blast now.
He comes every year
Is
with
he
his
running?
family. He'll be probably walking. But he comes every year. Listen, comes every year. So shout out. But I had to give that shout out because I'm proud.
No problem.
I'm proud of the brother just stepping out on faith. And he's been saying this, and anybody that knows him, he's been saying this since we were 14.
Listen, you got to do it. Listen, a dream is a dream. It's not deferred. Now you got to do it. So thank y'all for coming. Janine, Billy, Johnson. Yes. It's nice to see y'all. And Take Action Running. The race is June 15th. Y'all get out there and run these races and raise some money for these organizations that are near and dear to us. All right, Harry, I'm going to play us out.
He's been saying this since we were 14.
Listen. Oh, wait. Okay, Harry, I'm going to play us out. Choo-choo-choo-choo. Billy. I don't know where Harry is, but I'm going to play us out. I don't know where Harry is, but I'm going to play us out.
I'm on the road to heal my splintered soul. I'm on the road to heal my splintered soul. I'm on the road to heal my splintered soul. I'm on the road to heal my splintered soul. Oh, I don't know where it will take me, but you know when I finish this trail, I just might be where I need to be. I'm on the road to heal that splintered soul. I'm on the road to heal my splintered soul. I'm on the road to heal my splintered soul. I'm on the road to heal my splintered soul. I'm on the road. I'm on the road. I'm on that road to heal my splintered soul. I'm on the road. I'm on the road. I'm on the road. splintered soul. I'm like a ship lost in the ocean. I'm like a boat wandering the sea. My heart is torn by the commotion. Oh Lord, I pray this road will bring me back to me. I'm on the road. I'm on the road. I'm on that road to heal my splintered soul. I'm on the road. I'm on the road. I'm on the road to heal my splintered soul.